my name's Gabe Zollner. You know what they say? They say that in some cases the cover-up's worse than the crime. I don't believe that's true in this instance. Now, if you think back, if you remember Pan Am Flight 103, it was also known as the Lockerbie bombing. Well, the gentleman that was convicted of that is a gentleman by the name of Abedi Basset Ali Al-Megrahi. Now, you know, I mean, I got to believe like he's a Muslim, you know. Anyway, he was released under compassionate grounds, and he was supposed to have had prostate cancer, and he was supposed to die like real soon, but he lived for quite a few years, and when he got back to Libya, he was hailed as a hero. Yeah. Now, guess which administration was in power in our government when he was released? You got it. Anyway, you know what's interesting is that right now, you know, Mohammed Morsi, he's the ex-convict that's now the president of Egypt. Well, he's made a similar request to our administration, which is to have the blind sheik released on compassionate grounds, because the blind sheik is not a young man anymore. Now, what I want you to try to do is to follow all the pieces of this puzzle, all right? It's real important that you follow all the pieces, because I think you'll come to the same conclusion that I have quite a while ago. In June of last year, the State Department granted visas to a member of the radical Egyptian terrorist group. They were called Gamma Islamiyah. Now, that's the very same group that the blind sheik was the leader of when, like, he tried to bomb up and blow up the Twin Towers. That's why he's in a prison, you know, he's got like a life sentence. But anyway, the entire delegation of Egyptian lawmakers met with top State Department and White House officials. The topic of the discussion was, guess what? The possible release of none other than the blind sheik. Pretty incredible, huh? Now, in late August, Gamma Islamiyah, yeah, they scheduled a protest at the Cairo embassy. Now, 2 days prior to this particular protest, our own Homeland Security, they warned that jihadists were inciting the sons of Egypt, to attack the embassy because of the blind sheik Abdel Rahman. Follow the timeline of the events and actions along with the inactions. The pieces of the puzzles will soon all fit together. 2 weeks prior to the Ambassador Stephen's scheduled dinner with a Turkish diplomat, security forces at the facility were dramatically reduced. I think they removed like 15 armed personnel. Now, when Tyrone and Woods and Glenn Doherty, you know, they heard all the commotion going on at the facility, and they received the same radio requests for assistance and the same cablegrams as everybody did in Washington, including Obama. And, you know, I mean, they're ex-Navy SEALs. They again run to the sound of gunfire. Well, they were ordered to stand down, not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. Now, they didn't stand down. They ran to the sound of gunfire. Now, when General Ham, who also received these requests for assistance, he quickly assembled a force to go in there and provide assistance. Well, guess what? He was ordered to stand down by Panetta. Well, he told Panetta to go shove it, and then about a minute later, he got fired. You know what I mean? And obviously, no assistance was provided. Now, when multiple requests were made for assistance through all kinds of channels, none was provided. Now, ultimately, what ended up happening, the 4 Americans lost their lives, but this is after a 7-hour gun battle. You know, we're talking 7 hours. Now, less than 450 miles away, in Italy, they had a whole squadron of F-16s. And they had those, you know, Cobra attack helicopters. And they can't go that fast. What are they, about 250 miles an hour? But the F-16s could have been on station in 20 minutes. Yeah. But you know what's amazing? Nobody provided any help whatsoever. No, nobody. Now, do you think what I think? You see, when this delegation came to the White House and they wanted to make like a deal. And this was like in August. You know, this is like in August they had this thing going on in Egypt as well. I mean, you think maybe that they had cooked up a plan, and the plan was to, hey, you know what, we're going to reduce the military presence at the facility. You guys go in there and snag the ambassador. And then what we'll do is, we'll do nothing until you snag the ambassador. And then what we'll do is we'll do a trade. We'll trade the blind cheek for the ambassador. What a perfect plan. The only problem is that, you know, they should have removed Doherty and Woods. Yeah, from the CIA annex. That's where they made their mistake. You know, you can't be perfect. You can't plan everything down to the last second, right? Now you see, here's an instance where the crime is actually worse than a cover-up. And the cover-up simply verifies the crime. I mean, you know, the administration had to think they were completely out of their minds not to realize what really happened. Another question that still hasn't been answered, and Congressman Chaffetz from Utah, he's all over it. So is another congressman by the name of, I think Isaacson, I-S-A-K-S-O-N, he's out of Georgia. They all want to know what's going on. They want to know the truth. But Congressman Chaffetz, he also wants to know what I want to know. Where's those 20 plus Americans that were saved? How come they disappeared? If anybody has any doubt as to what happened in Benghazi, well, keep your head in the sand, you know? The pieces of the puzzle all fit together, okay? This thing was a failed plan, and they cooked up this incredibly stupid story, and they implicated themselves. Hillary is guilty, Ambassador Susan Rice is guilty, Leon Panetta is guilty, and most importantly, Obama's guilty. Will he ever be held accountable? Probably not, because we don't have one congressman or one senator with the gonads to do what's right for the American people. Did anybody get punished over Fast and Furious? Nobody will get punished over this. I hope to God I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Follow the pieces of the puzzle. They all fit together perfectly.